All right, so what we got here is the 2024 Nissan Rogue. This is a base model, the S, and it's a non-four-wheel drive model. This is my rental car until we get my wife's Honda Accord back. So I want to do a walk around on this vehicle because I know Nissan Rogues are very common. A lot of people buy them and everything. You know, this one doesn't come with too many options. It's more of a base model. You see a Florida license plate. It's a rental. We picked this up from Enterprise yesterday, drove it around in the snow and everything, and I put about 100 miles on it. And it only averaged about 25 miles per gallon, which that is freaking terrible, guys. I mean, and I looked it up. They're about 30 to 35,000, depending on what options this thing has. I couldn't really tell without really looking it up. I mean, it looks like it's got some backup sensors and it's got a little screen in it and stuff. But it does come with remote start. So you got to lock the doors and then push the button and hold it. Ooh. It literally just is probably the basic transportation you could ever want in a vehicle. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know much about this until I started looking into it. And it comes with a crummy CVT transmission that, I mean, I wouldn't give to my worst enemy. Like, I am gonna bash this in there because Nissan used to be one of the best car brands out there for bulletproof, reliable cars in the 80s and 90s. And you guys know that. But when they got bought out by Renault back in the day, they've just been making the crummiest things. And this is their #1 top seller. And I know it's a base model and everything. But, oh, it's got keyless entry, so it does have one option. You pop the hood, it shuts off. Awesome. But it's got this doofy shifter in here. That's the screen I was going to show you. This has no leather or anything. It's got like a weird cubby here or something. But the seats are comfortable. I'll give it that. But I started looking it up because I didn't know much about these things. And, you know, I don't really pay attention to some of this stuff. But this has one of those VC turbo. It's a 3-cylinder. It's a 1.5 3-cylinder. Made it to a CVT at 201 horsepower. But it is actually the most gutless thing I've driven. My wife's hybrid doesn't even have as much as this in her Accord. And I bet you her Accord probably weighs as much. And I was not just not thrilled with it. I mean, I know vehicles are getting more expensive, but this is what you get for $30,000. And this is their volume seller. Like, this thing is just... This thing's a dumpster fire and a half. I mean, you're getting room and stuff, but Nissan's quality is so bad. I mean, the door's open wide. I'll give it that. But I'm anti-SUV. I don't like anything SUV-wise. I mean, I could be 100% honest with you. I think they're all trash. But the interior is not as plasticky as you would think. And I know they have a new model up for 25 when I just started looking these up. But you get a little center screen and everything. Let it warm up. I'm cold. But this one, it doesn't have heated seats. You get drive modes. There's a little button here. And if you look there, which is not going to show me. It's awesome. You have to be in drive. This doofy shifter. No, it's telling me the back seat. There's nobody in the back seat. Oh, God, I hate this turd. But you got to push this button here to put it in park. I don't know. It's just not showing me anything. Oh, it's saying sport mode there. So it's in sport mode. Standard. Econ. I'm just going to leave it in standard. I had it in Econ, and it still didn't even do the good mileage. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, okay, so you could scroll through. I don't know much about this. So it says 30 miles per gallon, but that's not what I got. That's what... So this has not been reset since somebody has had it before us as a rental. But I don't care. Where's the instant screen? But I'm telling you, it said barely like 24, 26 miles per gallon, which I was just like that to me was just, even 30 I don't think is that good. I mean, If it was the four-wheel drive version, it'd probably get less. Auto lights, dim. I don't even know how to use any of this crap. Oh, it's on auto. But yeah, you get this smallish screen here, which it's okay. It's better than having nothing, I would guess. I mean, at least your climate controls and stuff, guys, aren't like buried in a screen, which I think is probably one of the worst things about this, about these newer vehicles. I mean, I don't know, I'm just being an old fart and being old school, but I shouldn't have to go into a... So, if you have to go into a screen to do anything, you should... Look, I want to put the heat on. I want to turn the heat up. Turn the knob. Heat. I want to turn the blower up. Turn the blower up. Like, I don't want to have to go into the screen and do this and touch that and go do that. Nobody wants that. It's just too much of a distraction. I mean, you get lights, you get stuff. But, you know, this video is just to show you. I mean, I like the steering wheel, but this piece is like brutally hard plastic. And I can't expect much for 30 grand, guys. I'll be honest with you, 30 grand is not cheap. And, you know, and just think somebody paid that for this new. It probably could be closer to, I want to say 32, 33, because this has some options. $33,000 for this vehicle? That's rough, man. And now these are on the used market. I mean, if you bought one of these and you sold it or you leased it for 2 years, you think, oh, you know, I'll lease it. You know, the reliability's not that good and everything. When you go to trade this in, you're going to take a beating. You're going to get hammered to death on this thing. You know, with this thing with 30,000 miles on it, probably you'd be lucky if you can get 15,000 for a trade-in. You're going to eat so much in depreciation. Now, my wife's Honda Accord's a 23. It's an Accord hybrid. It's top of the line. And I paid around 40,000 for it. I think out the door with everything. It was like just under 40 or $40,000 dollars. And I'm returning it back in January, a year early. So 2 years. It has just under 30,000 miles on it. It has like 27,000, 28,000 miles. And the dealership said they're going to give me $37,000 for it. Yeah, so I almost have over $10,000 in equity because it didn't lose anything, and I paid so much for it. So, which is good. One of the things why if you buy a top-of-the-line model, you can always get a little bit better out of it, which is kind of a tip for you guys. But if you're in the used market, stay away from Nissan Rogues. A lot of these small SUVs, it's what everybody wants, and they're just dumpster fires, guys. Like, this vehicle only has 3,400 miles on it. The transmission already feels like it wants to fall out of it. It's a really lazy, lethargic, clunky CVT, and Nissan CVTs are not that good. I mean, you can't even hold this for a long period of time and get your money's worth out of it. I mean, just bad and poor decisions. The other rental car I got was a Buick Envision. And that had the turbo 4-cylinder. That thing had a little more get up to it. But that was like 40-something thousand. And I was like, we paid $40,000 for her top-of-the-line Accord. And it had options that thing didn't have. Like the heads-up display, the huge screen, the heated ventilated seats, heated back seats. Like, that Buick Envision was nice. I mean, it was all-wheel drive and everything. But it was like $45,000 with the options. I told my wife, I said, man, $45,000 for this is getting up there. You're not getting much. And you know, Buicks are a little more reliable. Buick is one of the more reliable brands of GM. I don't care what anybody says. I think their stuff, they just take a little bit more time. Even better than the Cadillacs. I mean, I'll die on that hill too. But, yeah, guys, I just wanted to show you these cars are just rental car status to the max, man. You're better off buying like a 4 or 5 year old Toyota or Honda, anything, and paying less. You're just better off. You'll pay for it in the long run, and you know, the thing is they'll give anybody leasing for this, or leasing or to buy it. They'll give anybody financing for these vehicles, and which is part of the problem, because people buy these and they're like, and then they get upside down because they got crummy credit. You know, you can't get a high interest loan over 12 or 18% and then try to get rid of it and then try to sell this. You didn't even pay the interest off in the 2 years you owned it, and the value of it just plummeted. But, alright, guys, that's the end of this video. I wanted to show you something, but I also want to tell you about these things. Stay away from these vehicles. Same thing with Jeep vehicles. Terrible. You know, Mazda's not bad company. Honda, Toyota. The new, I'm a Ford guy, but the new Ford Escapes, garbage. Garbage to the max. The 3-cylinder, they're like, this is a 3-cylinder engine. A lot of them have 3-cylinder engines, EcoBoost turbos and stuff. They're just garbage. They're throwaways of throwaways. 10 years ago, these vehicles wouldn't even have been this crappy, and you would have paid half the price for it. You're just getting a worse vehicle. And they put all this fancy and shiny things in it and give you some options. You're like, oh, this is great. I'm telling you, you're going to kick yourself in the butt. And you're going to be like, oh, that fat, ugly guy was right. Take it from me, man. Don't do it to yourselves. Stay away from it. I know Nissan will finance anybody. You got a 400 credit score and a job and $5,000? Yeah, sure, you take this Nissan Rogue. Ugh. But all right, guys, protect yourself out there. And today's adventure is going to pick my daughter up in the icy weather. I don't know if you noticed it was rain and everything, but hopefully my new pickup truck will be in soon. I'm supposed to get it today. Don't start with me. But yeah, guys, enjoy your adventure, and hopefully when my truck comes in, we can start a new adventure. But stay away from these. They're just garbage.